Some stories don't really shout, they whisper. They aren't about these huge epic adventures, but about that quiet, personal journey of just putting yourself back together. Today, we're going to dive into why these gentle stories, the ones set in the most ordinary places, have such a powerful and, well, healing pull on us. Let's get into it.
I mean, who hasn't, right? That feeling when the life you thought you were building just evaporates. You're just adrift, and you have absolutely no idea which way the shore is. It's such a human experience, but man, can it feel isolating.
And for that exact feeling of being lost, sometimes the perfect lifeline, the perfect anchor, is a quiet place just filled with other people's stories. We're going to explore this whole idea through the international bestseller Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, which is this beautiful story about finding yourself in a sanctuary made of paper and ink.
So, a lot of these healing stories, they start at rock bottom. I mean, it makes sense, right? You can't really rebuild until everything's been leveled. And for our main character, a young woman named Takako, that demolition comes fast and with absolutely no warning.
4 words. That's all it takes to just shatter Takako's entire world. They're said to her by Hideaki, her boyfriend of a year. But here's the thing. He's not proposing to her. Nope. He's just informing her. The woman he's marrying, a colleague they both work with. And get this, he's been dating her for 2.5 years, longer than he'd even known Takako. Just devastating.
The shock it's just total. It's not just the heartbreak of being cheated on, it's the complete destabilization of her reality. She was basically a side character in her own love story and had no idea. And that leads to this profound sense of burnout and just feeling completely disconnected from everything she thought was real.
So how does she react? Well, she quits her job, she moves out of her apartment, and she just retreats. She retreats into sleep. She actually says her dreams were like the purest, sweetest honey, a total escape from a reality that had just become unbearable. She literally just wanted to disappear.
But you can't sleep forever. And then a call comes from her kind of quirky uncle, Satoru. He offers this unexpected and, at first, pretty unwanted lifeline, a free place to stay. And this is where the bookshop comes into the story, not just as a setting, but really as a character, all its own.
And this is a concept I find so fascinating, the idea of the bookshop sanctuary. It's this core theme you see in a lot of these stories. It's not just a shop, right? It's a true haven. In this age of digital burnout and constant noise, it's a place where the outside world just kind of fades away, and it gives you the space to finally hear your own thoughts again.
And this shows you how that idea can take different forms. So on the one hand, you've got the Morisaki Bookshop, a real physical place in Tokyo's book district. But then you have this other great book, the door-to-door bookstore, where the sanctuary is mobile. It's a bookseller named Carl who literally brings that safe space to his customers. The shape is totally different, but the function, giving people comfort and connection through books, is exactly the same.
So, back to Takako. She takes her uncle up on his offer and moves into this tiny room above his shop. But she is not grateful, not at first. The room is literally buried under mountains of old, musty books. Her first job is just fighting this war against paper to carve out a little space to sleep. It's so ironic. She actively resents the very things that are about to save her life.
And that's the thing about the healing in these stories. It's never a lightning bolt moment. It's a slow burn that happens quietly, over days and weeks, one page, one conversation, one cup of coffee at a time. Takako's journey is a perfect map of this process. It starts, of course, with step 1, initial resistance. She thinks the books are just dusty, hostile invaders. Then, step 2, the first discovery. Out of pure boredom, she finally picks one up. And that one book opens the door to step 3, the joy of reading. She starts just devouring authors she'd only ever heard of in school. And finally, she gets to step 4, connecting with the past, where she feels this link not just to the stories, but to the history held inside the physical books themselves.
And this is the key, right here. The magic isn't just in the story, it's in the object itself. She'll find a line underlined by some previous reader and feel this sudden connection to that anonymous person from the past. For someone who feels so cut off from her own life, sharing a moment like that across time, it's profound. These secondhand books become these little vessels, connecting her to this bigger stream of human experience.
But look, Her healing isn't just a solo mission through literature. The bookshop gently forces her back into the world. She reconnects with her uncle, she makes friends at the local coffee shop, she becomes part of the fabric of the whole neighborhood. She even experiences the energy of this huge book festival. The books are really the catalyst, but the community is the cure.
Which brings us to the real heart of why these stories hit home for so many of us. They aren't just about the characters on the page. They're about us and our own search for a place where we can feel whole again.
Her uncle shares this beautiful piece of wisdom with her. The blue-green mountains in the poem, they represent life itself, this huge, ongoing journey where you can't always see the end. He's basically telling her that we're always searching, always moving forward. And in that context, the bookshop isn't the final destination, it's a vital rest stop, you know? A place to get your bearings before you continue your journey into the mountains.
So what does it all boil down to? Well, stories like this offer a gentle antidote to some very modern problems. When we're feeling lost and disconnected, they offer real human connection. When we're just overwhelmed by the crazy pace of modern life, they give us quiet spaces and the beauty of slowing down. And when we're all searching for meaning in the noise, they remind us of the simple, profound magic of a good story.
And that really leaves us with one last thought. It doesn't have to be a literal bookshop, of course. It could be a park bench, a library, maybe a quiet cafe or a hiking trail. Any place where the world just falls away and you can start to piece yourself back together. So the real question is, what's your Morisaki bookshop?